You know what? You know what? I was just going to not even do this. I was actually just going to, I have so much to do nowadays on my schedule. It won't allow it. Let me see. First, I have to water myself pity, then stare into the abyss, solve world hunger, tell no one, and then jazzercise, and then have dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. And then wrestle with myself and wrestle with my self-loathing. I've been booked. Well, I suppose maybe I could look at jazzercise over there. But what would I wear? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy King Gabe here. Yeah, kind of at a moment there. Um, say, I know, and I know we say so. Got a little bit the story going into the Christmas story time here. Uh, and of course, yeah, kind of another late start this time. Let's just say now. I know this is something. Now I know first thing is say like, well, usually when I explain about some stuff outside of the subject matter, that's usually for the weekly update. But I gotta share this right now. This does explain about the late coming for this for the night. Let's just say I have been working on this for a few days. This is also why I hadn't posted like the new shorts or anything like that just yet, but I will be posting some. So what's been going on is that I've been working on this Nativity shorts. It's kind of a four-parter short, and you guys will see when it's uploaded. But first, before I upload that, I do have something already prepared. I just didn't, but I started working on this and forgot to upload this other thing before I started working on the other project. Me singing the Jim Carrey Grinch with this coat and this hat. I look just like Saint Nick. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, doing that there. So yeah, that will be dropping soon. And of course, with this month, I do plan to do some other Christmas carols. Like I said, this four-parter activity short, and I do have some other shorts in mind, especially Grinch related. It seemed like me and EJ have kind of taken on a couple of holiday icons on our channel. EJ has so far put up a couple of shorts of him doing Charlie Brown. He had himself playing the piano, and Lucy apparently trying to flirt with him. I guess Lucy grew up and broke up with Schroeder. Now she got her eye on EJ, but I don't think that's going to last too long. EJ even said himself that Lucy's not very faithful, so that ain't gonna. That don't have to worry about putting her on the list of shipping EJ with anybody. Nah, we don't have to worry about Lucy. And then of course one where he was doing all the Charlie Brown dances from the Christmas special. In my case, I have me singing the cartoon How the Grinch Stole Chris, about to drop the Jim Carrey version and Frosty the Snowman. And ironic, that's what this Storytime live stream we're going into is about to do. Me reading Frosty the Snowman and How the Grinch Stole Christmas from, of course, the original old classic stories there. Of course, Frosty and the Grinch, where they adapted into the Chuck Jones cartoon. Now, of course, the Chuck Jones cartoon had a very different animation, but it was a really good film. A lot of people love it there, of course, because it's the first one that came out. Had sort of a Tom and Jerry kind of style because of how the Grinch was designed. He kind of definitely made me think a lot of Tom Cat as a green monster, kind of. I guess Max would be like a dog, version of Jerry. So yeah, that the main into that. And funny thing is, relating with the Grinch, and also with reading these two stories, there's going to be some things I'm going to explain outside of the books pertaining to Frosty and the Grinch. Yeah, so be advised for that. That's one reason I'm only doing two stories because there's some other things I want to share about these guys outside of the book reading. One thing I was about to say, the Grinch. I think the live is now. This is from my observation. I think the live action Grinch with Jim Carrey kind of draws inspiration from the Chuck Jones cartoon. And of course, so wouldn't that just be from the book? But the reason I say that because the design of the Jim Carrey Grinch really heavily puts, especially with all the Grinch makeup that Jim Carrey had to wear, get military training to act through, really reflects the Chuck Jones, the way the Chuck Jones Grinch looked there. Then of course, in I think it was 2017 or 2018. Let me make sure about that. The last Grinch movie that came out there. See. Um, let's see. Grinch. Oh yeah, 2018. Okay, the 2018 film. 2018 18 film that was the Grinch that what's his name who played Doctor Strange kind of got a hard to pronounce name there for the actor, but we all know him in the Doctor Strange movie of the MCU. Very amazing how he goes, "Hello, I'm Doctor Stephen Strange. I need you to come with me to Max." Yeah, to this snarkling Grinch there, and that the way they did him, said this was a CGI Grinch. He act now they do give him his green coloring, but he has his style. The way he's style is a lot like they took the book, like not the Chuck Jones version, but they actually just took the book itself, that design, and just gave him green color. Yep. So yeah, that's a very interesting thing to notice in the Grinch, the original, and its adaptations. There, Grinch has got quite a history. Yeah, and Frosty has some history as well. So let's go and get into the stories. Reading Frosty first, and as I'm also reading, like I say, there's going to be some information outside the books, especially with the comparison of adaptations that came from these stories there. So let's take a look at old Frosty. He's a golden book. So, yeah, see, little golden book. Yeah, y'all remember those there, the little golden books. So they got some written on the back here. The Pookie little puppy, the red hen, Scuffy the tugboat, Tawny Scrawny lion, the shy little kitten, the little red caboose. I'm surprised they. Oh, and Tootle, that's a train, kind of resemblant of the little engine that could there. There are more than 200 timeless little golden books to share. Here are just a few of them. How many have you read? How many of these books have you guys read that's watching this? Honestly, in my case, if you're about to ask me, uh, right, there are some others, but this is the only one I've read so far. I think there are some little golden books that I have read, but I don't remember them right off the top of my head. But I know the ones listed on here. I hadn't even heard of these. The ones listed on here. Uh, but there are books. But if there's any, but I'm pretty sure if I see the little golden book on any stories that I have read growing up, then that's obviously one that I probably read and probably even had read to me growing up. So let's get on into this. Frosty the Snowman. So it all started with the first snow of the season. Every child knows, there's a certain magic to the very first snow. And when it falls on the day before Christmas, something wonderful is bound to happen. As you can see the school there and everything. Ironic that the school is still going to the 24th, Christmas Eve. you know, usually Christmas lets usually when you get out in real life, they according to when Christmas falls on, like this year is on a Thursday, so the kids are more than likely this the next week is going to be the last week all the way up to the. Thought I heard something there. Oh, it's weird. So, as I was saying, from the 15th to the 19th, Monday through Friday, that's going to be the last week of school. And then they start the Christmas break. Yeah, since the 25th is on Thursday this year, just like Thanksgiving. Of course, Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday. So, yeah, the week of it, you're going to get off from school if you're a kid. So that's usually how that works. They don't usually have, because I mean, you got because then it's not only just the kids being let out, but the teachers, because they just like parents and everything, and just adults in general. They got other family members that they want to, especially like if they flying out or something like that. They depending on who all in the family gathering and stuff like that. So that's usually that's um kind of makes me think of. But now there is a case I've heard in Medea's Christmas. I don't know if this actually happened in real life, but there was a mention in Medea's Christmas movie about them. I think they didn't let school out until the day before Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve itself because they had lost a lot of days. I think due to like some storms or something had happened earlier. So they was trying to make up a lot of days, and plus also the school seemed like it was having some major budget problems there. So yeah, that's so I don't know. Maybe there's a case where stuff like that has happened. I don't know. I don't know how that would work in the real world, how they would work that, but you know, I do know we've had cases where we've lost days of school due to stuff like snowstorms and stuff like that and other things. Then they've added fall break and all that. We had no fall break growing up. We just Thanksgiving holidays was the fall break. I don't know. Anyway, sorry about that ramble there. Let's get back into this. So, children, back to your seats, called the teacher. The snow can wait. Now. I've hired Professor Hinkle, the magician, to entertain us for our Christmas party. Unfortunately, Professor Hinkle was just about the worst magician in the world. Bing boing, bing boing, bing boing, bing boing, bing boing, all stuff falling out of his hat. Boom, 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 boom. And so I put the eggs into my magic hat, said Professor Hinkle. Abracadabra to coin the phrase. And voila, the eggs have turned into. Ooh. As you can see here. Oh, messy. Mm, where is my rabbit? Hocus pocus, where are you? He didn't know that the rabbit Hocus was hiding in the hat. Only thing this hat is good for is the trash can, said Professor Hinkle. But the hat didn't stay in the trash for long. The hat with Hocus underneath popped out the door. Say that was when the bell rang. The children were free for the whole Christmas holiday. Oh yeah. Yay! Yay! And the Hocus Pocus rabbit. You would, desert the great Professor Hinkle was, I'm frozen in the water. If you notice, I'm kind of, there are some things from the cartoon that aren't exactly written in the book there. Because, book translates differently from the TV, but especially this kind of book with all the pictures in it and everything. But yeah, I'm kind of adding that in a little bit. Hey, look at the snow! Cried the children as they ran outside. They worked together to build the first snowman of the season. They, once the children had given him eyes, a nose, and a mouth, it was time to name him. So what do we name him? Hmm. Say, George Jefferson? No. Christopher Columbus? Oh no. Oatmeal? Oatmeal? I think he's just hungry. How about Frosty? Asked Karen. Frosty the Snowman. Yeah, Frosty the Snowman. Say, that. And the children danced around Frosty as they sang about his button nose and his eyes made out of coal. Frosty the Snowman was a jolly happy soul. He was made us say with a great big smile and a button nose and two eyes made out of coal. Now, before y'all sing, because I did sing this when I sung the carol in the short that's on the channel, but before y'all ask, like, wait a minute, isn't this supposed to be with a corn cup pipe and a button nose? Yes, I'm aware of that, but on it, yeah, I know, and a lot of us didn't think nothing of it growing up, but looking back on it, this is the thing that come to my mind. He is a snowman, and these are kids. Corncob pipe, smoking. Yeah, you usually do not encourage, try to put stuff that would to keep from encouraging kids to smoke. Also, yes, I know a lot of early cartoons had that, like cigars and pipes, like Pinocchio, the Disney movie, they had Geppetto with a pipe. And then, of course, they said smoking was wrong when they went to Pleasure Island. Kind of a double, yeah. But a better example, Looney Tunes, they had cases where they had cigars and stuff like that. The really early cartoons there before they took that out, which I'm glad they did. But this is the thing. Yeah, this is the like I say, aside from the obvious of smoking, what smoking leads to and everything. Frosty the Snowman. He's a snowman. And we know later there's the whole thing about, him getting to the North Pole, as we're about to get into, before he melts. And a cigar is heat or a pipe of. Now, of course, you say, well, he's not really smoking the pipe. They just put it in there, but he's not smoking it. Okay, that begs another question. Why is a pipe just lying around the school for these kids to pick up? It's almost like the movie. Any of y'all seen the movie? Who's hey, look who's talking about the talking babies, which they didn't really do a good job of dubbing the babies talking, but they just had one of the babies pick up, I think, a cigarette that was a here, mom. Yeah, and the parents had a great big panic over that. So yeah, it's just picking up a pipe. Mm. Yeah, like it. So yeah, not not a very good sign, especially as a kids, as well as also with a snowman. Now, you might say also remind me of Mister Freeze from Batman and Robin with a cigar, the Arnold Schwarzenegger one. Yeah, if Mister Freeze has to stay in sub-zero temperature, why does he have a cigar? That should be deadly to him, and not just because of cancer, but because of the heat. Mm. Yeah, so that's the reason to change that. Yeah. Okay, back to the story. Hey, come back here, you! Hey, cried Professor Hinkle, chasing Pocus. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew the hat onto Frosty's head. As you can see here, we been building a snowman, and yeah, he has the pipe in there. I gotta show the picture of how it is. There you go. That's how it is. He's coming out there. Ooh, y'all give me 1 second. It's getting hot in here. Yeah, I think we got this. I know it was a little cool when we got home, but I don't think that temps really just say dropped. Temps at 55. Yes, that's cool, but that yeah heats up a little too high. Let me turn it down. Be right back. Okay, turn it down just a little bit now. Ooh, like I say, I mean it's nothing wrong with keeping warm, but come on, yeah. Well, sometimes it get that way. All varies with this temperature here in Shreveport. Know how it is down here in Louisiana or the South. You know that weather be all different kinds of ways throughout the four seasons. There. Mhm. Happy birthday, said the snowman. Karen gasped and said, "That hat brought Frosty to life. It must be magic." When Professor Inkle heard that, he, he wanted it back. He said, "My hat? Magic? Just take a look. If that hat is magic, I want it back." "But it's not yours anymore," protested Karen. "You threw it away." "Don't talk back to your elders, you naughty, naughty little girl. That hat will make me a millionaire magician," said the greedy magician, taking the hat back. But, silly, silly, silly. When you get older, you'll realize that snowman can't come to life. Oh, Frosty, we don't care what grown-ups say. We know you did come to life. We just know it. Uh-huh. Yes, we do. Now, Hocus felt that the hat really did belong to Frosty, so he hopped, hopped back to Frosty and the children as fast as he could to return the magic hat. Hey, happy birthdays! Oh, and I forgot to show you the pictures on that page there. There you go. Mm. Yeah, you didn't like that there. Happy birthday, said Frosty again as the hat was placed on his head. Hey, I said my first words. Like, oh, wait, what's the joke here? I mean, am I really alive? I mean, I can, I can move, I can juggle, I can count, I can count the 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I can count to 5. Hey, I'm even ticklish. What a neat thing to happen to a guy like me. Yay! Yay! There must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found. For when they placed it on his head, he began to dance around. Frosty the snowman was alive as he could be. He was made of snow, and the children know how he came to life one day. The magic hat made Frosty dance around. The children cheered as Frosty began to laugh and play. There had never been such a wonderful winter day, as you can see. Yep. But then, uh-oh. Is there a thermometer around here? Right over there. What's wrong? Oh, I was afraid of that. I hate red thermometers. Why? Because because when the thermometer goes red, that means the temperature goes up. And when the temperature goes up, I get all wishy washy. And as when the sun peeked from behind the clouds, Frosty exclaimed, "I'm all wishy washy and starting to melt." The children say, "No, Frosty, you just can't melt." Well, the only place I wouldn't be able to melt would be the North Pole. That's it. We'll take you to the North Pole. We'll have a parade out of it. Yeah, let's do that, kids. Come on, follow the leader. Dun 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 dun. Frosty the snowman knew the sun was hot that day. So he said, let's go and we'll have some fun now before I melt away. Come on, kids, follow the leader. Down to the village with a broomstick in his hand, going here and there and all around the square, saying, catch me if you can. He walked right through the streets of town, right to the traffic light. And he only paused a moment when he heard them holler, stop, 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 stop. Hey, don't you me stop, stop. Okay, wise guy, didn't you see that traffic light up there? What's the traffic light? Up there on the lamppost. What's the lamppost? Oh, you want a ticket, wise guy? Wait. Oh, I'd love one. To the North Pole, please. Huh? Well, you have to excuse him, sir. You see, he just came to life, and he doesn't know about such stuff like that. Oh, well, I guess if he just came to life, I guess, well. Okay, moving along, folks. Silly snowmen. Once they come to life, they don't know nothing. Wait, snowmen come to life? And you swallow this whistle. And then they got to the train station. We, they said to the sleeping conductor, we'd like a ticket to the North Pole, please. All right, the North Pole? Yes, ma'am. Bink boing, a bink boing, a bink boing, a bink boing, a bink boing. Oh, it's whoa! So we got the tickets. Oh, we got the Northern Bay and over there south of the Atlantic and the Gulf Stream of Mexico. Oh, North Pole. And then I also call it the tropical. It'll be I think he said like $2,677 in including taxes. Oh, we don't have any money. No money. Bing 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 bing. No money, no tickets. Dun dun dun. No, I'll never get to the North Pole. Oh, Frosty, you just can't melt. Oh, Karen, don't you get all wishy washy too. And and just then, well, Hocus found a train that was heading north. A train? It's a train refrigerated boxcar on a train heading north. What a neat way for a guy like me to travel. Bum, bum. As soon as all too soon, it was time for Frosty to take the train to leave. I'll go with you, Frosty, said Karen. I'm sure I'll be back in time for supper. Yeah, Karen, yeah, I'm pretty sure the North Pole is probably just like a couple of blocks down by the train. Yeah, you'll be back in a couple of hours there. I mean, after all, I had some friends of mine. We said we wanted to go to Bethlehem one Saturday and we'd be back by the end of the day. Matter of fact, I said, well, I got choir rehearsal with the youth, so I think we should be out about 10 o'clock. So maybe we can meet about 1 o'clock and have a little go to Bethlehem, have an afternoon down there. So, and even swing by Jerusalem for a little bit there. So, yeah, I actually, yeah, just like Karen mentioned about the North Pole, this actually happened. We didn't actually go there, obviously. Yeah, we would have it would have took longer than a day, way longer. But we did that actually was said with me and some classmates of mine back in second grade there. Mm. Okay. Karen, Frosty, and Hocus jumped into the refrigerated boxcar of the freight train heading north. No one saw Professor Hinkle sneak under the train car to hold on. I will get that hat. Must think nasty, think nasty. The refrigerated boxcar was a splendid way to travel. That is, if one is a snowman or a furry coated rabbit. But for a little girl like Karen, it was just too cold. Achoo! Hmm? Karen, are you all right? Wait, that's a silly question. You wouldn't be sneezing like that if you weren't all as if everything was okay. Uh, Maybe I am just a little cold. Achoo! Frosty knew he had to get her out of there before she caught a death of cold. So when the freight train made a stop, Frosty got them all out. Oh, you tricked me! I'll get you with a go. Oh, bing boing, bing boing, bing boing, bing boing, 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 bing boing. Professor Hinkle fell out the train, by the way. Let's see. I think. Oh yeah, I need to remember to show the pictures there. My bad. Yeah, I forgot to read the picture book there. So like my heroes of dreams there. Frosty took Karen and Hocus into the wooden den. They, they were all the were all where they found animals decorating the trees for the big celebration. They knew Santa was coming that night. After Hocus spoke to the animals, they agreed to build a campfire to keep Karen warm. It didn't take long for Professor Hinkle to catch up with the friends. Yeah, but before Hinkle got there, Hocus, we need to find some way to get me to the North Pole and Karen home. But who can help us? Dun, 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 dun. Hocus tried to give a clue. No, not the Marines. No, not the President of the United States. Yeah, I gotta agree. I don't think Ronald Reagan would be quite up for helping a snowman get to the North Pole. Yeah, or even Bill Clinton, whichever one was around at that time. Say. Oh, but they were all good choices. Oh, Santa Claus. Why didn't I think of that? Then Hinkle arrived there. Ah, oh, look, a campfire. Isn't that just lovely? Of course. Wait, stop. Give me that hat back right now. These are the pictures that we have to keep showing you those pictures. Give me that hat back or else. Or else what? Oh, don't bug me with details. Just give it back to me. Get on my shoulders, Karen. Now, Frosty, since he was made of snow, was the fastest belly whopper in the world. As soon as he and Karen were sliding down the hill, leaving that greedy Professor Hinkle far behind. At the bottom of the hill was a tiny greenhouse for growing tropical poinsettias for Christmas. It was the perfect place to keep for Karen to stay warm. Frosty, you'll melt in here, warned Karen. I'll only stay inside for a minute, Frosty assured her. Besides, I've been meaning to take off a few pounds anyway. But nasty Professor Hinkle called up to them, and he locked the door, trapping them inside. Now there's nothing keeping. Now, once you're all melted in there, I'll get that hat. Oh. But then came Santa. But when Santa found that Frosty and them were not at the hill, him and Hocus followed Frosty's footprints to the greenhouse. But that night, but when they got there, their horrible sight met their eyes. By then, poor Frosty had melted completely. Frosty the snowman, what a jolly, happy soul, with a great big smile and a button nose and two eyes made out of coal. It was too late. Too late? Oh, nonsense! Oh, don't cry, Karen, said Santa kindly. Frosty's not gone for good. You see, he was made out of Christmas snow. And you can bet your boots that when a jolly December wind kisses it, it'll turn into Christmas snow all over again. But he was my friend. Oh, watch. Dum, 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 dum. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Like, give me that hat back. I want it back. Now. Like, oh, oh yeah. so Santa, so just watch. So Santa opened the door and a wind whirled in and Frosty was back. Santa was about to place the hat on Frosty's head when Professor Hinkle shouted, I want that hat and I want it now. If you, Santa replied, if you would so much as touch the brim of the hat, I'll never bring you another Christmas present for as long as you live. Oh, you mean no more magic balls or wands or little trick cards? No more anything. Oh, that's not that's not fair. I mean, hard-working magicians have to make a living too, you know. Now go home and write right now and write I'm very sorry for what I did to Frosty 100 zillion times. And maybe, just maybe, mind you, you'll find something in your stocking tomorrow. Hey, hey. Professor Hinkle was. You mean like another hat? Maybe. Hey. Oh, Professor Hinkle was very sorry indeed and ran home to start writing. Oh, I've got to get busy writing. Sorry to lose and run, but I've got to get busy writing. Busy, busy, busy. Come now, Frosty. We're all waiting for you. Happy birthday! Karen was so happy to see her friend Frosty the snowman. What a jolly happy soul. He was made of snow and the children know how he came to life that day. But now it was time to go home. Santa put Karen in his sleigh and promised her that he would take Frosty to the North Pole with him. Karen hated to say goodbye to Frosty, but Santa said that Frosty could return every year with the magical Christmas snow. As we see here. Oh. Yeah. Frosty waved goodbye as he hurried away, and he shouted to return the following Christmas, and every year he did just that. I'll be back on Christmas Day. Da 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 da. Dumpity dum dum dumpity dum dum. And look at that Frosty go. Dumpity dump dump dumpity dump dum over the hills of snow. Frosty the snowman, what a jolly happy soul. With a corn cob, with a great big smile and a button nose and two eyes made out of coal. Frosty the snowman, and I'm playing this like a guitar. Okay. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We got some time left. Trying not to go over an hour. That's why. But uh, but we got some time left. I was going to read the Grinch story, but I'm going to read that tomorrow. But there is something else I'm going to share with you guys pertaining with Frosty. Some of the other stuff that came after the cartoon, that this book is that is basically adaptation of this book. So now, so in Frosty history, we had a few other specials. There was a special Frosty and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It was sort of a Frankenbass special because Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That was sort of a claymation film. Anybody ever seen like the Frankenbass films? SpongeBob even did a reference to the claymation films there. But Frosty did make it as a claymation character appearance with that. There was now I haven't actually seen that one. I may have seen Rudolph as a kid, but probably don't remember much of it, and maybe some of the other Frankenbass cartoons. Um, but I'm not sure if I seen the Frosty crossover with Rudolph there. Um, but I do remember another Frosty crossover I did see. Um, Not enough to like remember it like completely from like the way say I would remember say a SpongeBob episode, but I do remember some things about this one. I think it did have to do with Jack Frost. That Jack Frost was in the special, and Frosty and they made Frosty a wife in the special too. Let's see, Frosty and Jack Frost. Okay, it was Frosty's Winter Wonderland, and yeah, the so this one that interesting. It came out in 1976. 1976. A sequel to Frosty the Snowman. It was a standalone sequel. So I think probably Frosty and Rudolph may not have been canon. It could be. I mean, yeah, I would just say it's canon. They don't really say whether or not the Rudolph crossover is canon, but hey, might as well. Say, he was at the North Pole. I mean, Rudolph is up there with Santa Claus, so why not? But anyway, this was a kind of a sequel to Frosty, the Winter Wonderland, and I think there were probably some new kids there in this one, obviously, but there was um, they what? Let's see. So okay. So years had passed. Say years had passed since Frosty left for the North Pole, and when he hears about the first snowball of the season, he decides to return. The children are overjoyed when Frosty comes back to play with them, but Jack Frost sees the fun that the children are having with Frosty and becomes jealous of him. Sort of like how he became jealous of Santa Claus in the Santa Claus 3D Escape Clause with Tim Allen there. So he learns that Frosty's magic hat brought him to life and decides to steal it so the children will from Frost, so the children will love Jack Frost more. While Frosty is skating, the children are ice skating on a frozen pond. Jack unwillingly steals a horse's hat with his ability to blow snowy winds, believing it will be Frosty's top hat, but it disappears. The Frosty feels lonely when the children go home at night, making him cry for the first time. To cheer him up, the children decide that Frosty needs a wife. Ah, so yeah, I remember. I definitely remember. So this was the reason why they made the wife. So they build one the next day and name her Crystal. However, the group is unable to bring her to life. So that late that night, Frosty presents Crystal with. So that's what they named his wife. Interesting. With a bouquet of frost flowers, which magically brings her to life. Just as Jack uses a gust of wind to blow Frosty just then, Jack uses a gust of wind to blow Frosty's hat off, making him inanimate. But Crystal makes him a corsage out of snow and places it on Frosty's chest and gives him a kiss, bringing him back to life. Befuddled by Frosty's reanimation hat, he throws the hat back on the Frosty's head. Frosty and Crystal run through the town to announce their wedding to the children. They and a local Parson Brown, the local preacher, they assist the children in building a snow parson whom he brings to life with his Bible. I like that. They got a little, okay, got a little Christian snow going around here. All right, got the Bible. When Jack tries to spoil the wedding with a blizzard, Crystal Frosty and Crystal reason with him and ask him to be the best man for the wedding. Jack agrees, and Frosty and Crystal are married. So it kind of made up pretty. So that was kind of an easy way to make up. They're about to have fun all winter, but they notice the weather's starting to get warm. Jack uses his powers to extend the winter, but Parson Brown warns them about the danger of everlasting snow. And the three just return to the North Pole and escape to the train station where Frosty meets the traffic cop he encountered before, introduces him to his wife, which surprises him at the train station. Frosty, Crystal, and Jack bid farewell to the children. So that was, yeah, that's pretty much how I went there. Definitely see if y'all can find it and check it out, along with, of course, Frosty the Snowman. And now, the last thing I'm going to pretty much recite to y'all within the last few bit of this time of the leading up to the hour. Frosty Returns. That was Frosty Returns. That came, I think, like 1990 something there. Sort of a hip Frosty. So he was this one was probably the most different from the from the previous Frosty predecessors, but it's still a good film there. There now I tell you one that's kind of questionable, the Legend of Frosty, because that one really seems kind of random, and Frosty really doesn't act like himself. I mean, Frosty returned, he was down the hip and everything, but he still you could still say, yeah, that's Frosty. This one, yeah, he's Frosty, but he um for one thing, I think I heard from a reviewer that he was given the voice of Patrick from SpongeBob. Now, of course, that wouldn't be too big of an issue, but like I say, yeah, that doesn't mean you have to act like. Well, he wasn't exactly acting like Patrick in that one, the Legend of Frosty, but yeah, he was doing some things that just, yeah, it's like, yeah, there was some things he was doing in there that really, like, it didn't seem like it. Like, I think the fact that he was, now he had abilities, like he was able to just materialize himself at will with and without the hat. And the hat's supposed to be the thing that brought him to life until, of course, he met his wife. Now, you could say that maybe the magic evolved from being at the North Pole and also, with his wife Crystal and everything. But there's no mention of Crystal or even the North Pole for that matter, or or like I say, in general, his wife, um, which that raises a big plot hole. Um, so it's like, well, maybe, okay, maybe it changed a little bit, but that's not it. It's not. It can't be that bad. Technically, yeah, but there's a lot of other stuff, looking at it that really doesn't add up to the previous Frosty films. There, even if it was now you could say that maybe this is like a standalone or maybe like a remake or something like that. But the problem, they try to connect this to the previous Frosty film with Professor Hinkle, but they say that it's his hat that brought Frosty to life. Yeah, it is his hat, but they say it was his son. So apparently there was a son that he had that we don't know about. But even if he has a son, his son did not bring Frosty to life. His hat did, but it was Karen, the little girl, who took the hat when Hinkle threw it away and placed it on Frosty's head there. But yeah, they completely changed that there, and like I say, again, could be like a remake, but it seemed like they're trying to pass it within the continuity of the other films, especially with Professor Hinkle, because I mean he looked just like he looks exactly like he did in the very first film. So that yeah, and then it's some weird stuff with the adults in this movie. Um, like the way the relation between them and the children are is just really offsetting. Um, I mean, even for a fictional film, it's just like you got yeah. If like I say, if you're curious about it, like I say, it's not exactly the best Frosty film. But yeah, like I say, if you got curiosity and you want to, like you're not like, well, Gabe, I don't really quite understand what you're talking about. Go check it out and see it for yourself. And yeah, and then maybe we can have maybe we can have a little discussion on Discord or something about what you saw. Then yeah, kind of, you know, have just have a little discussion about that. So yeah, definitely, yeah, check it out and see how what how you feel, and I would advise you to see the previous Frosty films first, then see this one and get your get your thoughts on it there. Um okay, so let's go with Frosty Return. That's the last thing we're going to talk about. um so Frosty Returns. Now that was that. Now that's not so bad. Like I say, it is different from the previous Frosty films, but it's not Legend of Frosty there. And yeah, there's a lot of things that aren't mentioned from the other film. But then again, I don't think the other films actually mention stuff. There were things that still connected it. Oh, excuse me. That still kept them kind of connected. Just small things there. Frosty Returns, I don't think really has a lot of connections per se, but it's still, like I say, it's still Frosty is still treated a lot. Written is still written more decent than Legend of Frosty. So, what's going on down there? Uh, so let's see what happened. Oh yeah, we're Frosty Return. So there's a winter carnival. And they got this narrator in there that's sort of like, and that was another thing. The narrator, yeah, but the narrator, he kind of a little kind of make you think of like a Dr. Seuss character a little bit there on the snowflake. And after his little narration, it opens up with the kids singing like, "I love when the skies burst open as one big pillow fight. You just want to taste it. Oh, we love the snow. Oh, no, not snow. We love the snow. Who needs the snow better than rain, which causes us pain? The rain you can't throw." And the thing, and of course, it's the adults singing along. They hate the snow. Kids love the snow. Then, of course, there is the little girl named Carly McCarlow. She's a magician, kind of like Professor Hinkle. Oh, oh, what is the deal with my throat? But anyway, she has a friend named Charlie, uh, who she tries to get to be her assistant, and they try to do this sawing in half trick. It doesn't go too well, and her hat gets blown out the window, and it lands on Frosty. He still looks pretty much the same. Excuse me for just a second. He still looks mostly the same. I think the only major difference is the voice actor. Obviously because it's like in the '90s, and the other films were like back in the '60s and '70s. But voice, and also I think he has a different color nose, but still Frosty. Um, Kind of has a jive tone to him and everything. Oh boy, yeah. So he has a kind of a jive tone there. And so he's talk. So he's So they him and the girl get to talking. Oh, oh. get sorry about that. So they get to talking um, about the winter carnival coming up there, um, as well as a little bit about her being a magician and everything. Say and uh, then of course there's kind of, I guess you could say, the plot. Oh, ah, let me finish this live. Oh, hmm. Guess I might need this. Guess I might need some Zyrtex then tomorrow morning or something. Yeah. Say, but anyway, so turns out there's a product called Summer Wheeze going around to get rid of snow by just spraying it there. And it's invented by I think Mr. Bean Bros. That's the guy's name. Kind of was a kind of an elderly guy there, but sort of a hip elderly guy, who's pretty much the villain of the movie of the special. Is a summer wheeze. So he wants this everywhere, and he has trucks that are spraying it and everything. Almost kind of makes me think of the from the Onceler and stuff like that. There's kind of a lot. There's kind of a Dr. Seuss vibe in this in this Frosty sequel. Not bad. There, Frosty's in a panic, of course. So Holly has to tries to protect them a little, protect them and stuff. She hides them in her freezer refrigerator at first. That yeah, cartoon logic. Um, but then she goes to school, and whereas the kids were enjoying the snow at first, suddenly, her friend Charlie is doing his report about snow and everything, and the kids actually, like the adults earlier, start like, my dad says snow gives him heartburn. He must have snow confused with chili dogs. So they, I think it should only snow one day for the winter carnival. After that, I wish it would just be summer all the there's a all summer. And yeah, then they start saying, no more snow, no more snow, no more snow. And this really gets Karen upset because she thinks of Frosty, and she runs out the class to see and finds Frosty has found a ice castle, but she informs him that it won't be there for long. He's like, why not? I just got back from my school and the kids were saying no more snow, no more snow. It was awful. Hey, well, what did you say? Nothing. When I try to talk, my hands get all clammy and I get kind of nervous, and I really let you down, Frosty. Sometimes you just need a different approach. And he sings. I'll probably try to drop that video soon with me singing "Let There Be Snow" so y'all can see that. But that's what he's singing, and it has a little mix of the villain doing kind of a rap about "There's no more snow." Yeah, sort of like that, while Frosty's singing "Let There Be Snow." Ooh, y'all forgive me for that. Mm. So yeah, that. So anyway, was that then the villain actually shows up shortly. Well, Charlie shows up first, meets up with Frosty, is introduced to him. But then the villain shows up and he has his cat chase after Frosty and the kids into the ice castle. The cat starts spraying around for Frosty. While he doesn't get Frosty completely, apparently some of the spray hits Frosty in the middle, and he is, let's just say, it looks like he got a donut belly now. You guys better think of something quick, or I'm going back to the North Pole in a bowl. So Charlie gets the idea of some snow he had for a science project and brings it over to help patch up Frosty. But they're worried about what will happen, as time goes on with all the snow being sprayed away by the summer wheeze. So they got to think of something. And during the winter carnival comes. There's a snowfall, and then the villain makes his entrance with the summer wheeze, and then uh, but then Holly stands up to him there and presents Frosty to the public there, and they start singing. Then they start singing the "Let There Be Snow" song, magically making more snow appear, and magically the people join in and sing with them. And the villain accidentally falls into an ice pond there, and he loses. So, uh, well, you got your snow back. Now, why don't you just leave me alone? Any chance you want to take a ride on the royal sled? You only live once. So, and that and then of course it ends there. It say that the villain redeems himself by building snow sleds instead of trouble. So, oh, that's all with Frosty there. Make sure y'all check out those Frosty specials there. All of them, including the Legend of Frosty. I didn't really say much, it being good, but still, like I say, it is. I mean, I say I do prefer you guys still see what I'm talking about, good or bad, to at least get your opinion on it. There's some things, yeah, because like I said, that's the only way I even know about it because I did. I think I remember checking it out after seeing a review of it, and I know some movies I've seen that are not that good that I did try to give a chance once, and like, oh, that's the time I can't take back, but I did see them. So that's all I got right now. I was gonna read the Grinch, but I'm gonna do that tomorrow. But at least that does kind of pad things out a little bit because there's some things I want to say about the Grinch after reading his story. So we're gonna save that for tomorrow. We'll wrap this up so y'all won't be late getting ready for church in the morning. Definitely like, share, subscribe. Get our available books and definitely hit us up on definitely support us on Patreon, just like Iceman Universe, and check out his stuff and support him. Support the Miracle Crew, yours truly, Queen Tina, Big Sis Casey, and EJ the Supreme, as well as Janara Nelson. And also, just like you hang out with us in the live stream, also hang out with us on Facebook, Discord, but sell each other stuff on the McCary app. Check out the videos I got coming up. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I did drop the Skybite review. I just forgot to mention it to you guys in like my post or anything. Because like I said, I was working on these shorts, but that video has dropped for the Skybite review, and there's another video that should be dropping next week at some point. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. And I will try to post about the Skybite for anyone who hasn't looked at it yet, so y'all can go right to it. And be back here Sunday night for The Grinch, part 2 of my Christmas story reading. So anyway, that's all I got, and we'll see y'all in the next video. And I gotta go blow my nose because yeah, I know, kind of weird there, but like I say, I'm not sick. It's just doing this there. Anyway, see you later. Yeah, this is kind of weird. Okay. Okay, sorry about this. I thought I closed the live stream out there, but I guess because I hit the X button up here instead of in stream, but I guess even hitting, I guess you have to hit in stream. I thought it would have automatically turned off when you signed off the internet.